Hello, welcome to the Alone Show. I'm your host, John Alone. In this episode, no regulars, because reasons, as always. As for our guest, he's from Kunar, Afghanistan, currently in Brisbane, Australia, and he is a support coordinator. What is that exactly? Well, we're
I
about to
suppose.
find out. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Howard Nabi.
Thank you very much for having me on your show. I greatly appreciate that. It's a privilege and an honor to be here with you.
Yes, me too. So, how's life?
Good, getting there. I have a very difficult mission that I'm actually trying to create awareness, tell people a mission that is based on biblical prophecies and the end times, based on the 12 tribes of Bani Israel, basically. So I've been working for the past 4.5 years trying to create awareness of who we are, and the lost 10 tribes of Bani Israel are the Pashtuns of Afghanistan that were basically migrated in 72 BC, 722 BC from when the Northern Kingdom was actually fighting the southern kingdom of Judah. That's when we were attacked and we were migrated all the way to Khorasan, where today modern day Afghanistan is, by the Assyrians.
Ah, alright then. Interesting. So, what encouraged you to become a support coordinator?
Support coordinator is basically working for. I've got a master's of social work and counseling. Support coordinator is basically help clients that have mental or anxiety or physical needs that they need to be connected to other organizations and associations to help them enrich their lives, empower them, and bring them a much more comfortable, easygoing life of the best that they can. Basically, I help people like that. That's my job. Whatever they need, I try to provide the service for them.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like
What?
working with people.
Yes, love it. And what was life for you growing up?
Life for me, we migrated from Afghanistan to Australia in 1985. My father was in the military. When the communists attacked, my father fought against them and we migrated here. And since then, we've lived here nearly 40 years and did my studies, my tertiary, all my work life, my whole entire life was spent in Australia. I've gone back to Afghanistan a few times, but mainly lived in Australia and I've been working here, studying here, and I've been around a few other countries as well. But basically, that's my background.
Great. Have there been any other jobs or opportunities you haven't done yet, but you want to do it someday?
I've had other jobs. I've had counseling. I've been doing counseling jobs. I've had sales jobs. I'm also a financial planner. I've got a diploma of financial planning, helping with superannuation, investments, negative gearing, and all that stuff. I've done that role as well. So I've been around the block a few times. But the only job that I actually am interested now that is consuming me is the birthright of the sons of Joseph to reunite the 12 tribes of Israel, build the third temple, and usher in the coming of the Messiah. That's the one thing that for the past 4.5 years, have been concentrating, working on day and night, relentlessly, because you can call it a spiritual awakening. Um, Basically, that's the best way I can put it, to get this mission, this job done.
Alright then. Very nice. Where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
Hopefully, I would have accomplished my mission, reunited the 12 tribes. Uh, the Messiah would have come down, and then we have peace and tranquility and harmony in all over the world. All I have to do is just do my part in these end times to bring in that promised golden age for the people of Bani Israel. So that's the main thing that I have in my head after 20 years' time, whether I'm alive or I'm dead, as long as I've accomplished my mission. That's the main thing that is important to me now.
Nice, nice. And what are these 12 tribes that you speak of?
Well, the 12 tribes is like basically, if you read the Bible, the Old Testament or the New Testament, the 12 tribes are the sons of Jacob. He had 12 sons, and those 12 sons turned into 12 tribes. And at the time of Moses, when they were enslaved by the Pharaoh, those 12 tribes became in large numbers, and they were helped to escape from the Pharaoh into the land of Palestine today that was given to us. God chose us to deliver his message and become his ambassadors to mankind and humanity. And out of those 12 tribes, when King Solomon died, the 12 tribes actually started having civil war between each other. So then they'd separated into two kingdoms, the North Kingdom, which was called the Northern Kingdom of Israel, and the Southern Kingdom, which was basically called Judea. And we were at civil war with each other when the Assyrians attacked in 722 BC. Then we were separated. It's been nearly 2,700 years. The whole Christian world and the Judaic world have been looking for the 10 lost tribes of Israel. I'm sure you would be aware of it. And there's a lot of people, there's a lot of tribes, there's a lot of nations that claim that they are the lost 10 tribes of Israel. But the most compelling one that has archaeological facts, historical facts, are the Pashtuns that live in modern day Afghanistan. Their practices, Pashtunwaliya is one thing, a code of conduct and honor that is follows the Torah, and the customs and traditions that's still the Pashtuns, even though all converting into Islam, they still practice their Judaic traditions without even knowing that this is something that was left from our great-grand ancestors.
All right then. And I've heard something about building of the third temple.
Yes. What would you like?
I'm curious to know what's so significant and important about building this third temple in relation to the research.
Well, see, the thing is, as far as the job and the description of the son of Joseph, bin Joseph, is to actually reunify the 12 tribes, build the third temple in order to get the ground ready for the coming of our Messiah. So when the third temple is built, that means that the coming of the Messiah is very close. And the job and the role of bin Joseph is to actually get that ready and the foundations laid for the coming of the Messiah.
Nice, nice. All right then. And as you're looking more into this, are there anything that you found shocking or you didn't know until quite recently that not many people know about right now?
Well, to be honest, a lot of people don't know about this. I've got a website by the name of israelipashtuns.com that has all the articles, the YouTube videos of rabbis, of Jewish scholars who've done research and documentaries to provide evidence that yes, out of all the nations in the world, the only ones that can claim, and their claim is compelling, is the Pashtuns that are our lost 10 tribes. And even to the Pashtuns themselves, when I tell them this, it's shocking to them. Because all they've been taught is to hate Jews. They're your enemies. They're cursed. We have to wipe them out. They're this and that, and it's very, very difficult to undo all that stuff and try to actually make them realize that regardless who they are and what they are our brothers and our sisters. They're our cousins. Literally, we're from the same nation. We're the children of Jacob and Isaac. And they are brothers. You don't kill your brother. You don't disown your brother just because you don't agree with him. It's family. You have to tolerate each other. You have to build a bridge. You have to come to a certain understanding and accommodation with each other. And at the end of the day, the promise that was given to the children of Jacob was not just for the two tribes of Benjamin and Judah. It was for the whole 12 tribes. And it's our job as a responsibility collectively to fulfill our covenant with Hashem, with God, and at the same time reunite. Because right now, if you can see, the whole world is ganging against Israel today. Public opinion is against them. Their allies are abandoning them, and they, at the end of the day, they're left alone. And this is one of the biblical prophecies that was also foretold. And now is the time for the 12 tribes to reunite and face whatever they have to together.
Yeah, that's very interesting to know. It's very informative.
Yes, it's also shocking at the same time. A lot of people find it difficult to believe. They debunk it, but once when they go start researching it and start doing some more digging, and they'll come to the conclusion that yeah, the possibilities are very, 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 very high that the Pashtuns are the lost 10 tribes of Israel. And a lot of the Jews know this as well. I mean, there was an article written in Jerusalem Post regarding this when the Taliban took over the power in Afghanistan. Jerusalem Post actually wrote this, Guardian. So some reputable newspapers and reputable filmmakers have made documentaries about this, claiming this, that the Pashtuns are the lost 10 tribes of Israel.
Nice, nice, intriguing. What was the last book you've read?
Well, I've read Torah, I've read Talmud, I've read Tanakh. I wouldn't claim to be a scholar. Obviously, a rabbi would have more, much more knowledge. But I have read those books just to make sure that I'm in line. I understand what is required and what's right, what's wrong, to take out all the confusion and the gray parts. So the latest study that I've been doing, and I'm still doing, I'm keep reading the Bible. I look at the Talmud and the Tanakh, and I look at various writings from different rabbis throughout history that have written about the lost 10 tribes and the role of Ben Joseph. So there's many variations, but I'm still reading and still finding out, because obviously it helps me with my mission.
Yes, nice. If someone wrote a book about you, what do you think its title would be?
Ben Joseph. That's the only title they would actually give, Ben Joseph. Because I personally, the sons of Joseph, the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh, which I'm from, have played a significant role in the history of the Israelites. We have contributed so much into the writings, into the literature, into the making of the state of Israel. So even before we were lost, we played a significant role in the Israelites, in their history. And now today that we're actually spiritually awakened, we still have to play another very pivotal role, especially the children of Joseph, the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh. We have a very, very important role to play in these times, in reunifying the 12 tribes and building the third temple and ushering in the ground for the coming of the Messiah. And even if that means through war, if it's done through peace, beautiful. But even if it's through war, that's something, as I said, we have to stand next to our Jewish brothers and sisters and fight the whole world if we have to. Because,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll tell you one thing. As a people, as a nation, we, whether Pashtuns or Jews, we have suffered from the time of Moses up until the Holocaust. We've just suffered in different many countries, in different ways, in different versions. We are a people that have been scattered all over the world throughout 2,700 years and still have not lost our identity. Today, I mean, you might be in United Kingdom. If your borders change and you name it something else, your identity changes. But with us, as Bani Israelis, as the children of Jacob and Isaac, doesn't matter where we go, doesn't matter how you configure the geography, we will always be Bani Israelis. We will always be Israelis. The fact that we were given the land today, that the Palestinians and the Arabs and the Muslims are contesting with us, there is also another fact, that that land belongs to us, that was given to us. We were chosen for a specific job, and that location was chosen. Jerusalem was given to us. And this is recorded, even the Muslims and the Christians and the Jews. No one can contest that. That land was ours. It was given to us. And the fact that we were lost for 2,700 years and the Jews didn't have any power over Israel, that's a coincidence because we were scattered. Now that we're actually getting back together, no one in the world can stop us from having that land. No one in the world can stop us from restoring Israel to the original state it was. No one in the world can actually turn around and tell us we're wrong and we shouldn't do it.
Yeah, I could see that. If you could get an exotic pet, what would it be?
Sorry, what was the question again?
If you could get an exotic pet, what would it be?
A pet.
Yeah.
I like cats. I really like cats.
All right then.
Yeah, because I'm not sure. There's a saying that when you treat a dog like a king, it thinks it's God. Sorry, when you treat a cat like a king, it thinks it's God, and you treat a dog like a king, it thinks you're God. Even though cats are a bit, arrogant, and they have that little um, difference between dogs, but they're very. I like them because they're very, very uh, gentile, and they're more comforting than a dog would be. I like dogs as well, but I like cats much better. They're relaxing,
Yeah.
they're soothing. Yeah, they can be a good companion, just like dogs. Some people prefer dogs. I prefer a cat.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the best way to travel?
Well, it depends if you're going nationally, internationally. Um, I love driving. I've driven 24 hours, 18 hours to go from one city to another in Australia. But if it's too far, I prefer the plane. But I love traveling by car. It gets me that relaxation, and you get to see the outback, and it's beautiful, the nature. And I usually, when I do drive, I stop for an hour or so and just enjoy the beautiful scenery. While on the plane, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's a good point. How much time do you spend on the internet?
Well, to do research, reading things, articles, spend a lot of time, especially based on my mission. I read a lot. I'd spend a lot of time on the internet reading different articles and different writings by different rabbis and Christians. So just to get in more information. I used to spend a lot of time watching TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and all that, Instagram, but I don't spend that much time now because that's just wasting my time. I rather get some information, more knowledge. So this will prepare me better for my mission when I actually discuss this with either yourself or any other person from any other religious group. So to give them evidence, so have a better understanding, and to be
Yeah,
able to relay my message very transparently, so there's no confusion or misunderstandings.
good point. Do you like spicy food?
I love spicy food. I love Indian food. That's my favorite.
Nice. Me too.
There's a lot of. I'm sure there would be a lot of Indian restaurants in UK. There's a lot of Indians there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's tons of Indian restaurants.
And do
If
yes, yes. So sorry.
I was gonna say, if you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Jerusalem.
Okay,
Yep.
I I can see that.
Because that's where we belong. That's our house. That's our land. That's ours. No other country in the world is belongs to us. We can never feel home. Doesn't matter anywhere in the world. We can never feel at home. We can never. Our souls are yearning for Jerusalem. That's where I would love to live, and that's where I would love to die. As an Israeli,
Yeah, I can see that. Would you consider yourself to be an extrovert or an introvert?
extrovert.
Nice.
You would have to be for some. Obviously the mission that I have and the task that I've got on my hand that I want to accomplish. You would have to be an extrovert to actually um, get things a bit, obviously it's a very controversial topic, Israel and Palestine and the land. So I've had a lot of disagreements, arguments, and debates with a lot of the Arabs and the Muslims. So it's not an easy job, to be honest with you. It's very, very difficult because there's a lot of animosity, there's a lot of blind hate, there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of misunderstanding, misinformation. Like, for example, when you hear the chanting on the streets, people saying "river to the sea." You've heard this before?
Yeah, I've heard that phrase many, many times before.
And a lot of people don't understand that when everyone's saying "river to the sea" on the protests on the streets, they don't realize that what they're saying is basically kill all the Jews, kill all the Bani Israelis, kick them all out. This land doesn't belong to them. It only belongs to us. And that in itself is racism, anti-Semitic, and unfair. So if it's all right for the Bani Israelis, the children of Jacob, to be wiped out and kicked out of the land that they were promised, that's fine, no problems. But if something like that is the bombing that's happening in Palestine, as bad as it is, that's bad. So they can eradicate and completely have accomplished genocide of the children of Jacob. That's all right. That's no issue. But we can't touch anyone else. To me, that's unfair. And that's why I don't really care about what people think and what their sentiment is. We were chosen for a job. We are the chosen people of God. We have a mission. We have a covenant. And no one in the world can stop us. The whole world is against us, has been against us for the past 5,000 years, and will be against us until we triumph, until our Messiah comes, until we usher a moment of peace and harmony, and the world will then the world will know who was telling the truth and who was lying, and how the end of history is going to turn out to be.
Yeah, of course. I can't argue with that. It's history's history, and nothing in history can be changed.
Absolutely. But unfortunately, a lot of people do want to change history these days. They like to put a narrative that suits them.
Yeah, and that is why it's always important to do our research,
Yes.
because no matter,
Well,
yes, go on.
sorry. Yeah, sorry.
No, no, you're gonna say something. I'd
Yeah,
like to hear
as
it.
far as research is concerned, I did a lot of research about the writings of the scholars of the Muslims. And believe me, for some unknown reason, every single commentary you read or book you read, they um, expose or not expose, or they try to actually translate the children of Jacob or the Jews as a evil, as a corrupt, as cursed, as damned by God, that will be wiped out. And I found it really, really, really amazing that the chosen people of God are cursed and will be wiped out, and we will be destroyed, while you aren't even mentioned in any of the divine books. Yet you are better than us, and you will survive, and you will be in the right path. So I really doesn't matter. To me, it sounds like as if God's made a mistake. God said, I'm going to choose the children of Jacob and the Israelites to do my job, and the rest of the world is saying, no, we don't care about that. God can doesn't mean anything. We'll choose who is going to be staying in that country, and who has the right, and who's chosen and who's not, and we don't give a damn if you're chosen. So that's the attitude that a lot of the people have. And when you listen to that kind of attitude, and when you hear that kind of attitude, it forces you to go on a back foot and say, fine, if that's what you believe, and if that's what your understanding and your religious and ideology is, then don't complain when you get the short end of the stick. Because if you're going to start a war, and if you're going to start a conflict, then be prepared to cop it. Don't expect the Israelis to just to sit back and say, fine, for 5,000 years we've been persecuted, we've been killed, we've been I mean, the Holocaust is best example, and we just sit back and keep taking it.
Yeah, of course. If you were hosting a dinner party and you could invite five people who are either dead or alive, who would you invite?
Well, five people dead or alive. Wow, that was a good question. To be honest, I would invite some of our scholars that we've had great Jewish rabbis, very learned. Them, uh, to be honest with me, Moses would be one of them, because he's the cradle of our civilization. He's the beginning of the Israelites. Besides them, I don't really have anyone else that I would like to actually, because that's containing, there's a connotation between them and my mission. That's why I chose them, the rabbis and Moses.
Yeah, absolutely. What bad habits do you want to get rid of?
Uh, Anxious. I get anxious. I get flabbergasted sometimes when things don't go according to, or people don't understand what I'm saying, or my plan doesn't go according to what I want. I get a bit of anxiety. I get a bit nervous, and that's one habit that I don't like about myself. That I'm working on changing, because obviously, when you have a calm mind, cool mind, you can think better. You can process information better, rather than getting stuck in the past or in the future, or procrastinating about things that aren't really going to make much of a difference. That's one of the weaknesses I have.
Fair enough. What's your favorite type of day?
Well, favorite type of day would be. In what sense do you mean? Like, generally living as a family, normal life, or based on my mission?
Well, wherever you are around the world.
To be honest, I think a good day would be when you wake up and you're healthy, your family's healthy, your friends are healthy, everyone's doing fine, and you come back home and sleep. You've got your family with you, and every day that happens like that is a good day, and it should be cherished. And we should thank God for that. That you've got health and you've got the family, you've got support. That's, to me, is very important. Money isn't. Money doesn't make you happy; it just makes you comfortable. But family, friends, community, and a sense of belonging somewhere, a sense of actually achieving something for the good of humanity and the betterment of the world, and to contribute in a way that actually will improve or change lives for the better. That's what really I'm passionate about and motivates me and drives me.
Fantastic. What's the best thing you've bought off Amazon?
I haven't bought anything off Amazon, to be honest. It's usually eBay that I buy things off, like iPhone chargers or iPhone cases. But I haven't bought anything from Amazon.
Okay, okay, that's interesting. Have you ever thought about living off the grid?
No, unfortunately, I can't because of my mission. If I live off the grid, that means that I'm abandoning my mission. And at the end of the day, I believe, this is my personal belief, that when God uh, inspires you to do something for Him, then you don't have a choice to say no. You can't run away from it. You can't go off the grid. You have to be in the middle of the entire whole chaos and conflict to get the job done. So unfortunately, I don't have that privilege or that luxury of being off the grid.
Yeah, I understand. And that is all we have for this episode. It's great having you on, Howard, talking about the 10 lost tribes of Israel, unifying the 12 tribes, the third temple, coming of the Messiah, and many other things. It's been very informative.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being on your show as well, and thank you very much for having me on and allowing me to tell my message and spread the awareness. I really appreciate it. I really do. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome. And until next time, stay tuned for more.